So I've been critical in the past about Bored Apes Yacht Club and their shockingly short terms and conditions. So if we're looking at it here, it's really only a few paragraphs long. Okay, this is very peculiar because usually in any terms and conditions of a website, they're much longer. They'll include stuff about limitation of liability, indemnity, what you can and can't do with the content, restrictions on like age of people who can use it, disclaimers of warranties about where links will take you, etc. But for whatever reason, Bored Apes, it's very short, and some of the language is contradictory. Like I pointed out that it says, you own the NFT. When you purchase an NFT, you own the underlying Bored Ape completely. But then below here, it seems to like clarify what you do and don't get. But that's inconsistent with saying that you own it completely. Okay. So for a while now, about a year or so, I've been kind of banging the drum saying something's fishy with Bored Apes. They don't have their IP assignment and stuff together. And the length of the terms and conditions being shockingly short is further evidence that something's just not right here. And the next thing I really can't explain is why their sister NFT, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, has it much, much longer terms and conditions, right? So let's take a look. This is theirs. Now, this is all pretty much the same between Bored Apes and this section with the IP, okay? It does add stuff here. I'm not going to get into the details, but it's very peculiar to me that for whatever reason, Mutant Apes Yacht Club is much longer. It says what you can and can't do, fees and payment. It has an important disclaimer saying that this is all as is and as available. You accept inherent security risks. There's a limitation of liability. There's a risk assumption basically saying that, look, we don't really know what's going on with NFTs and cryptocurrencies, and a lot of shit can go wrong that we have nothing to do with. Continues indemnification, tells you what happens if they change the terms and conditions. Dispute resolution, again, in a section saying that it's not intended for children because they're worried about COPPA laws and just, what you can and can't show to children because there's federal laws about that. But explain to me why Mutant Apes would have a much more robust and developed terms and conditions, but Bored Apes, really the supreme one and one of the original, like the OGs of NFTs, just does not. I can come up with a couple theories. First, maybe Bored Apes just started so quickly and they are just like, okay, this is what we got. We'll just move on, right? And Mutant Apes, by the time that got around, even though I don't think it was that much longer, they actually, took the time to make it a little more robust. But even then, why wouldn't Bored Apes update their terms and conditions like Mutant Apes says that they can? That's what I can't get my head around. I guess maybe they might say, well, wouldn't it be fair to grandfather in some members of the yacht club, but for new purchasers to have different rules applied to them? I don't quite get it, but with the value of these NFTs selling for hundreds of thousands now that the market's down, but previously millions of dollars, it just never made sense to me why their legal was contradictory and, again, just so, short in the words. I avoid these like the plague. I just don't think that they hold value, and a lot of these answers about the IP and stuff, they just don't add up. Let's read this section here, changes to the terms and conditions. We may make changes to the terms at our discretion. This is Mutant Apes. We may make changes to the terms at our discretion. Please check these terms periodically for changes. Any changes to the terms will apply on the date they are made, and your continued access will constitute your binding acceptance of the updates. That's fine. You can do that. That's normal. If you do not agree to any revised terms, you may not access or use the site. So, I just don't understand why Mutant Apes, again, is so long, but Bored Apes so short and contradictory. It just doesn't quite make sense. Anyways, I'm really skeptical about these. I don't want anything to do with them, but it sure is fun to follow from a legal perspective.